Now here is the exercise I mentioned in the previous video. You're going to draw this bushing, which has 3 parts to it. We have this part, and this part, and this part. We'll draw them separately, and then we'll assemble them as shown here. Now make sure you have the dimensions available for the bushing, and you'll find these again in the extrusion exercises.pdf file in your working files folder. Now I'm going to draw this one first, and you can do it in the isometric view, but sometimes it's easier to draw something like this in one of the orthogonal views. So what I'm going to do is to tile, and I'm going to draw the top face of this extrusion in my top view, which makes a lot more sense because it's a flat face. Now, just to make sure that I'm actually drawing near this bushing, I'm going to set my active depth in the top view. So I click on my active depth tool, click in the top view to say that's the view I want, and I'm going to use the front view here as the setting for the top view. So I'm going to snap to that corner there. So now when I draw, I will be in the plane of this top surface in the top view. And it only applies in the top view, of course. So let's do that. I'm going to enlarge the top view a little bit and zoom into this corner here. So I need a closed shape. So I'm going to use SmartLine. Join Elements is on. Now again, I'm working in inch units. So I'll start with the top corner here. This is the back end of this object, and the object is 2.5 inches wide. So 2.5 at the keyboard, data point, come across. I need to get to the start of the arc at the end of the object. And that dimension, after you've done a little bit of math, is 2 5/8. That will be 2.625, which is 5/8. So data point. At this point I need an arc, so I'm going to use the tilde key on my keyboard just below the escape key to switch to arc mode. Drag up, find the center. Well, I could put the dimension in, but why bother? I can hit enter and come across and find the center of that, which is just fine. That gets me my arc, stops there, drag across, tilde key again, and find that point there. That was pretty straightforward. Now I need the hole, so circle tool. It will start at the center of that arc, and the size of the hole, a 1-inch hole with a 1/2 inch radius. So that will be just 0.5. There we go. So there's my hole, and there's my solid on the outside. Let's change this view to wireframe. Now notice my bushing here is very close to the actual bushing itself, and that's because I set the active depth to suit. While we're here, let's do the next one. If you look at the dimensions carefully, you'll see that these are actually the same size. So rather than drawing it again, let's at least pick this up and make a copy. We'll reverse this thing in a second. So there's that. Now I need another hole here so I can make the slot. So let's just copy this one over. I'll copy and center in this direction, and this dimension is 1.25. There's my second hole. Now I need to make that into a slot. So line tool, there and there. Line tool there and there. And let's do some trimming. So, quick way to do this, of course, select everything, go to Trim Multiple tool, make sure that trim is set. I can trim that, and that leaves me with the slot. But the slot is individual components at this point, as we can see, and I need this to be a closed shape. Off we go again to my Create Complex Shape tool. It's on automatic, so I just data point on that, data point in the screen, and data point again to accept, and we're done. This is now a closed shape. Now I could have used SmartLine to draw this entire figure in one go, but I thought I'd be different. Okay, we need to actually mirror this drawing and change it to vertical, and here comes my mirror. I don't want to copy, so take that off and plop that there. So let's go to maximizing this one. Off we go again to the group hole. Start with this one, select the outer boundary, select the inner boundary, data point, and accept. Do the same over here, select the outer boundary, select the inner boundary, data point, accept. And we should have hole elements. Yes. Now we can extrude. So extrude tool. The extrusion is 1.5 inches deep, so we can drop that straight down by 1.5. That's done, and the same with this, and I can use my previous distance marker to get the 1.5. So there are my two side extrusions. Now let's do the center circular one. So I've got a data point to place a circle, but I can't see the circle. In the status line, it's telling me that my data point is outside the visible area of the view. And it says click for details. Well, let's just do that. And we read here that, as you would think, the display depth is either too small or too different, or the active depth is not within the display depth. So they're suggesting turn off the clip volumes, which makes sense. So let's just do that. So view attributes, turn off clip, and clip. And back we go again. And now we can probably draw the circle. Let's see. Yes, we can draw the circle now. We don't have a display depth. I need to change the compass orientation. And my outside circle, 2 inches in radius. Data point, another circle. And this is 1 5/8 radius. Data point, and there's my double circles. Let's make this a whole element. So that one, and data point, and we have the whole element, and let's do the extrusion. And the backward depth is 4.5 inches. Data point, and there we have our cylinder. So the next step is to assemble the objects, and I'm going to do that in the next video.